The last tool that I have to offer you is birthing positions. So there are specific positions that we've found can really reduce your risk for tearing while giving birth. And the main ones that I want you to be aware of are standing, hands and knees, and lying on your side. So standing, based on the research and evidence we have, is the best, is the most supportive to your perineum. Comparing that with like squatting or sitting on a birth stool, those have a slight increase in the risk for tearing. And the reason why is because if you were to like squat now, you could feel the weight of your body weight on your pelvic floor. So there's a lot more pressure and weight on your pelvic floor, and that can potentially increase the risk for tearing. When you're standing, the weight is distributed a little bit differently. So that can sometimes allow for your body to deliver the baby in a slower way without all the pressure of the baby and your whole body on your pelvic floor at the same time. So standing is one position that I love. You can alternate your legs while standing, putting them on a stool or a chair, so you're in kind of a little lunge position, or you could just take a yoga block. I highly recommend everyone has a yoga block at home or in your birth bag to go to the hospital or birth center. I know it's kind of a weird, clunky thing to bring around, but having a yoga block is so supportive for the pushing phase being more smooth, because when you stick your leg while standing under a yoga block, you now have taken the pelvis from here to here. So you're adding asymmetry. If you're in hands and knees and you stick a yoga block under one knee, you've done the same thing to the pelvis here to here. And if you can switch every few contractions to different leg, different knee with a yoga block, you're adding more asymmetry. And so that can really support the baby in having more space to like do the little wiggle that they need to do to be able to come out. So standing for delivery, hands and knees for delivery, and the other one is side lying. If you are feeling really tired because you've had a long labor, if you have an epidural, and you still can get in a squat or a hands and knees with an epidural, but some people just feel more comfortable side lying, or like it's easier to hold their body up if they're tired, and that's totally okay. So if you just want to lie on your side, please do. And what that typically looks like is that you're lying on your side, you have a pillow under your head, and then you yourself are holding your leg and kind of curling with lifting your head a little bit during the push and curling into that leg, or someone else is holding that leg for you. Lying on your side makes it pretty easy to do perineal massage and warm compresses if that's something that you want. And providers can still be a little more hands-on, but we have research that shows that they are less likely to give you an episiotomy on your side than on your back. So let's talk for a minute about being on your back. Birthing on your back is the least optimal position to be in for the delivery of your baby. And the reason why is because for the pelvis needs to be mobile. It needs to be able to move a little bit while you're delivering your baby. And if you are like this, you're compressing the sacrum here and not allowing it to like be able to move back. So really the sacrum should be able to move like this when the baby is coming out. And when we're like this, it compresses the sacrum. So it makes the space that baby is exiting a little smaller. That can increase the risk for tearing. And also a lot of moms typically, when it's time to push, they're told to get on their back, which is a position that's more convenient for the provider, but it doesn't benefit you or your baby. They're told to do directed pushing, where they hold their breath and count to 10 and engage the tummy muscles and push as hard as they can, and then take a breath and do it again. So they're kind of losing oxygen and they're getting exhausted. Provider is hands-on, which increases their risk for episiotomy. The other thing that I'll say is that that kind of environment, that model for addressing pushing, can feel stressful and overwhelming when you're lying back and these people are standing over you telling you what to do. You can birth like this if you want to. There's nothing wrong with it if that's what you want to do. But I just want you to know that pushing can look very different than what we typically see in birth videos on social media and in the movies. You can be quiet. You can roar. You can do whatever you want to do. You can be upright, moving your body. You could have no one touching you. You could catch your baby yourself in a room full of silence. You get to choose how you want this process to be. So I invite you to just be fully aware of the research and evidence, showing that some of those typical standard ways of supporting or addressing pushing are not evidence-based. They're just old, outdated birth rituals and routines that it takes like 10 to 20 years for new research and evidence to make its way into policy. So it's just taking a little while for more hospitals to offering more water birth and addressing pushing a little differently. So it kind of depends on like where you are, how you're going to be treated and what you're going to be offered. But if you're in a facility that's going to be giving you like a recommendation to just kind of do the conveyor belt thing, what they normally do, you can do that. And just know that you never have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to do directed pushing. You don't have to be on your back. You don't have to get a cervical exam to know that it's time to push. This is about you birthing yourself as a mother. This is about you bringing your baby into the world in alignment with your values and with your preferences. And you can absolutely do that safely while listening to your body, while honoring your self-agency and exercising it, and honoring your values and your preferences. That is my 5-step process on reducing your risk for tearing. And I will say too, if any of you are interested in working with me or getting a little bit more support, kind of tailoring everything you're learning to your specific situation, you can just send me a message on School and we can talk about it. We can book a free call and talk more about your birth and just explore how I can support you. So feel free to send me a message.